She sends you a text message before bed, and the first night she goes, "Good night!" exclamation mark, and you're so happy to see that. And then the second night she goes, "Good night!" exclamation mark, and you're also so happy to see that. But then night number 3, she all of a sudden just goes, "Good night," with no exclamation mark. If you seeing that, in that example, if you are the type of guy where you seeing that would have made you slightly anxious that she's losing interest or slightly nervous that she's upset with you, if you're the type of guy where that thought would have went through your mind, stick with me, because you are exactly who I made this video for, and you are going to learn a whole lot of things if you stay with me until the end. Alright, I just got done with a 5-mile walk, so I'm a little bit tired, but sometimes these videos when I'm tired are like my best because I just kind of sit back and relax. So when I was on my walk, I was thinking, like, what are major things that makes a guy look really weak, okay, that women pick up on, that the guy is probably oblivious is even happening, and ultimately this lowers her desire. And I came up with 3 things on my walk. So this video I'm going to talk about 3 things that make you look instantly weak to the women that you're dating. I'll say that one more time. 3 things that make you look instantly weak to the women or to the woman that you're dating. This is going to be a really important message and a really important video because I almost guarantee that you're making these mistakes without even realizing it. We live in a cell phone generation. We live in a text message and social media generation. Because of that, you're going to be failing different tests that you don't even see. So the very first thing we have to address, I wrote this down, I'm going to read this in sequential order. The first thing is text message updates or ongoing conversation after you left. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time. Text message updates about your life or ongoing communication after you left. Okay, so what does that mean? Maybe it was a first or second date. Maybe this is a long-term girlfriend. But what does that mean? Ongoing text message communication after you left. Okay, ongoing text updates or ongoing communication after you left. So once you've left the date, or once you and her have left, you know, the setting where you guys were at. Maybe you guys went to a movie, you know, you're hanging out somewhere, whatever. Then you left. And you went back to your house, and she went back to her house. When you feel the need to have ongoing communication, okay, so just let this sink in because guys don't even see this. Ongoing communication. When you give text message updates or ongoing communication after you already left, it signals that you're still wanting to talk to her. Now, this is what I can tell you. Women interpret communication differently when you're dating them over the phone than they do when you are in real life. You would not believe how many men I have came across that have told me my personality is on point when I'm in real life. A lot of times the women that I'm dating like me in real life, and then when it comes to text messaging, I always lose their interest. That's because the guy is actually still trying to actually have real conversation and real text message with them. That communication and that conversation removes her interest level because you're giving added attention without her even being beside you. So what that says, what that subconsciously signals is it says, hey, I'm so hot. This is what she's subconsciously thinking. I'm so hot. I have so much value. He thinks I am so attractive that I don't even have to be right beside him. I don't even have to be in his vicinity. I don't have to even be in the same location as him. And he's still going to talk to me. And I'm still going to get to talk to him. That's what it signals. This makes you look very weak. Now you might be sitting here saying, well, Casey, everybody uses a cell phone. Everybody still text messages every single day. Doesn't everybody almost do that? Doesn't almost everybody do that, Casey? That's what you might be saying. Yeah, almost everybody does. And guess what? Almost everybody doesn't have options. And almost everybody ends up dating someone for a while and then stuff doesn't work out or you wonder why you can't get another date. Almost everybody doesn't get results. If you want to live like everybody else and do the same things that everybody else does, you can expect to get what type of results everybody else gets, which is basically zero. Okay, so I'm even going to take this point a step deeper. When I say text message updates are ongoing communication after you left, a text message update might even be something like, let's say you guys were talking about your favorite movie, you know, when you were sitting there on that date talking with her, and then you get home, you know, and you send that text message and you say something like, oh, you know, just turned on XYZ movie, you know, whatever, just to give more communication, wanting to keep that going, because you really want her to type something back like, LOL, that's awesome, I'm watching a movie too, or something to give you the type of emotional reassurance that she's still right there and wants to text you. This is how weak this starts to look. Another huge mistake that guys make when it comes to text message updates after you've left is guys will try to make lighthearted jokes. LOL, ha ha, cry face laughing, OMG, ha 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 ha. Okay, you gotta understand here, you're talking to a woman. Okay, you're not talking to your best friend from high school, you know, who you were on the football team with. You're not talking to your next door neighbor named Tim that you go get drinks with once a week, you know, on Friday after work. You're talking to a woman, okay? Which means if you want her to desire you, if you want her to want to keep seeing you, if you want her to want to keep sleeping with you, you're going to have to act accordingly. And the way you need to act is you need to act in a way that basically says, hey, I'm the type of man that a woman would naturally respect. When you lowered yourself to that LOL level, that ha-ha level, that's what you become, is a guy that she looks at and she says, ha-ha, LOL. And that's the exact type of guy she's not going to want to keep seeing. In order for a woman to desire to see you, she has to respect you. Okay, because when that respect is not there, her love is gone, her care is gone. You have shown her that you allow yourself to become emasculated in some way, shape, or form. And this is why she disrespects you, this is why she stops talking to you, is because you allowed yourself to become emasculated. You might have done it to yourself by over-communicating your interests, or you talked too much. You talked too much and you revealed how you felt about her, and it turned her off. In some way, shape, or form, you started to show weakness. You either started to show weakness in your mindset with how you carry yourself, or you started to show weakness with your attachment level. But this is what you have to know. All of this starts with you constantly communicating that you need somebody to talk to. So the very first thing that instantly will make you look weak to a woman is text message updates when you're updating her about your life, okay? Ongoing conversation after you just left the interaction with her, or trying to make lighthearted jokes and all this stuff. Ha ha, LOL, OMG, LOL, wow, that is wild. 2 days go by and you go, oh, she didn't text me back yet. Yep, that's why. Because she doesn't think you're very masculine. She doesn't think you're a man's man. She doesn't look at you as the type of man that she would want to stick by. In fact, she starts to think you're so weak that it's almost like just a turn off to even keep talking to you. Okay, so this is the first thing. That's the first thing that makes you look weak to women. I'm glad we got that out of the way, because point number 2 is just as important. Point number 2 would be excessive kissing and cuddling after you two have slept together. Okay? I'll say that one more time. Excessive kissing and cuddling after you two have slept together. So this is what's going to happen a lot of times if you're the type of guy where maybe you haven't had a lot of dates or you don't have a lot of experience, okay, is you start to think that you can start to let your guard down and you can really be expressive with how you feel. Okay, so excessive kissing or excessive cuddling after you two have slept together. So this is what it looks like. You guys get done with your romantic situation for the night, if you want to call it that, and then all of a sudden you're laying right there beside her, you know, and you're face to face talking really closely, and you're kissing back and forth and you're cuddling and you're sitting there going, oh, you know, this is exactly how it should feel. This is exactly how it looks in the movies, right? The man just shows her all of his love and care, and she's just going to reciprocate that interest, and we're going to basically live, you know, these amazing lives together. This is what you think. Excessive kissing and cuddling after you two have slept together. She will like this, or she will enjoy this for probably anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes, and afterwards her desire and her interest is going to start to fade. This is what you have to understand. The more you're sitting around in a passive state, just laying down, relaxed, not only are you signaling your interest level, but you're signaling your attachment level. And see, this is what I need you to understand, is basically the things that you were taught growing up are wrong. You were told that you can show all this love and all this care and all of this affection, and she's going to respect that and she's going to love that. And most importantly, you were probably told that she's going to thank you for that. You were told that she's going to thank you for it and say, oh, I'm so glad you're there for me. I'm so glad you know, tell me how you feel, all this stuff. But excessive kissing and excessive cuddling after you two have slept together, you will watch her interest fade. Those text messages are going to get a whole lot slower for those response times. Those phone calls all of a sudden don't come through. And I'm going to tell you this, those of you who are sitting there saying, oh, well, you know, you just have to be really good in bed and all this stuff, that has absolutely nothing to do with it, because you have to understand, what you have to understand is beyond all that, there's a certain level of interest tests that you are going to be dealing with, because you have to understand hypergamy, or her hypergamy, is always watching you. So constantly she's sitting there subconsciously saying, is he weak yet? Is he weak yet? Is he weak yet? Is he weak yet? Should I leave him? 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 I think he's getting weaker. I think he's getting weaker. I think he's getting weaker. Let's interest test him more. I think he's getting weaker. You might be sitting there going, well, what does that interest test look like? She might just not talk to you for 48 hours just to see what you do. All of a sudden on your end, 3 text messages come through. Hey, is everything okay? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, I haven't heard from you. Hypergamy is always watching. All of you guys watching my channel, you have to understand this. Women are always looking for reasons to leave you. I don't care if you have been with her for a year or 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, or you've been married for 20 years. She is always weighing her options, and she's constantly sitting there going, should I leave him? Can I do better? Can I do better? Is he weak yet? Is he weak yet? Is he weak yet? So here's the problem that most guys face, okay? You think that the longer amount of time you spend with a woman, you're building all this chemistry and this companionship and trust building without understanding that hypergamy is still watching you. Without understanding that her hypergamy, it's like that radar is still on, wondering if you're getting weak yet. And she's always sitting there looking at you going, is this the best man for me? Is this the type of guy that I can stick by? Is this the type of guy that I should stick by? Is this the type of guy that's going to continuously show strength? Some of you think that those types of tests start to go away once the relationship has been solidified, or you guys have been together for a year or 2 or 3 years or something like that. It's just beginning. And it's always just beginning, because there is no off switch. Just because she knows you, just because she claims she's even in love with you, you have to understand, hypergamy is always watching you. Hypergamy is always watching, and she's always saying, should I leave him? I think I should leave him. She's literally always looking for reasons or excuses to leave you. She is looking for an excuse to get rid of you. Sometimes it's easy for her to find that excuse, and that new excuse is a new guy, and it's easy for her to replace you. Other times it's not. Make yourself irreplaceable. Scarcity will always, 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 always create value. Think about that for a second. Make yourself so valuable you cannot be replaced. Make yourself so valuable, so unique. It's like you're in a category of one, to where she'll never find another guy like you ever. Like, do everything you can do. Max out all of your stats on paper. Then max out all of your stats on a soul level, internally. Max out everything. Do everything that you possibly can do. Lose the body fat from being in the gym and eating a good diet. Do the things that you have to do in the gym to build a better body. Do the things that you have to do in your business to build a better bank account, a better career. Do the things that you have to do with your inner work to reflect your confidence. Do the things that you have to do to be a man's man and a good leader. And not just a leader for her, but a leader for yourself. I'm talking do it all. Don't fixate on one thing. Do it all. Because she's always looking for a reason to leave you. And this needs to sink in. See, you're always probably looking for a reason to make the relationship last or to stay with her. See, this is what guys do. Guys try to find reasons a lot of times to stay. The friends will be looking at the dude and they're saying, oh man, she doesn't even treat you that well. And he's sitting there going, oh yeah, she's not the worst girlfriend I've had though. Meanwhile, on her end, it's completely opposite. She's always looking for reasons to just leave, to get rid of you and say, I think the grass is greener elsewhere. This has to sink in. This type of companionship that you think you're entitled to, where you just are happy forever and, once you're together, it's just you're together, forever no matter what. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. So these lessons need to sink in, because the guy who isn't calling her back, the guy who isn't text messaging her back, the guy who isn't there for her, that's probably the guy that she thinks is stronger than you. Because he doesn't need a hug and a kiss goodbye, and he literally doesn't care. Okay, so that's number 2, excessive kissing and excessive cuddling. Anytime you feel yourself like lowering your guard, where you're like, oh, I'm just going to lay here and open up and talk about all these things and say all these sentences and talk about how I feel, just know that you're probably losing her. So that's number 2. Now, number 3, this is the third one. That most guys can't really pick up on, or they don't pick up on, because they just don't even understand that this is a thing. So I'm going to explain this one to you. The third thing that makes you look really weak, okay, to the woman that you're dating, is reading into the keyboard and not realizing that it is an attachment test. So I'm going to say that one more time. Reading into her text messages and thinking they mean something more than they actually do, or reading into her conversations when she's sending you a text message, something like that. Reading into the keyboard, or reading too much into the keyboard, not realizing that most things are actually an attachment test or an interest test. She's testing your interest level and your attachment level. Let me give you a very good example of what this looks like so all of you can understand. And this is a way, or this is something that women will do to kind of screen out which guys are probably not very desirable based on his own interest and his own attachment level to that relationship in the first place. When I say reading too much into the keyboard, this is what it looks like. What this looks like is this. She starts to understand, or she starts to think, right? She basically has a hunch that she can start to shift your emotions strictly through the keyboard. And this is what it looks like. Let's say you guys have had 3 dates, and now you're meeting up for a 4th date. And every single time that she's went to go and meet you out on that date, it looks something like this. Date number 1, she types "on my way!" exclamation mark. Date number 2, she types "on my way!" exclamation mark. Date number 3, she types "on my way!" exclamation mark. And you're super excited for all of them because she looks excited for all of them. Date number 4, she just puts "on my way!" without an exclamation mark. Or she puts "on my way!" with a period. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is what a true attachment test looks like over the keyboard, because at this point she wants to see if you're going to get reactive. See, this is why men need to understand that when you embody like elite level stoicism with your attitude and your demeanor into the relationship, meaning you cannot be moved off your center, off of your emotional center, this is what she gravitates towards. So I'll give you an example. A guy who is really worried, or a guy who is slightly insecure, or maybe a guy that feels like, maybe just he really likes her, and he really wants to make sure the relationship is on a good trajectory. He might type something like, "Is everything okay?" or "Are you doing good?" Or he might even suggest something and say like, oh, if you're not really feeling that place, we can go eat somewhere else instead. And instantly she knows that you know. I'll say that one more time. Instantly she knows that you noticed. Okay, this is why when I tell a lot of you guys, like on this channel, like you have to truly not care, she needs to see that you don't even notice those things. You need to be so focused on you, so like not even worried about female nature and interest tests and all this stuff. You're so focused on you that a simple text message like that doesn't even bother you. You don't even see it. And she looks at you and she goes, he didn't even notice. And now she's excited when she actually meets up with you on that date. These are the little things that guys don't see. These are the little things that guys don't notice. These are the little things that guys are unaware of. So what I did to help you take this a step further is I created a process to help you learn, understand, and master the language of women. Now, instead of me talking about that process and telling you how cool it is, I just want you to go see how many results I actually have helped other guys have. If you check out what I made for you, it's in the description, and you see that page that I made, there is so many student results on that page. Like, in my opinion, the results speak for themselves. When I made it, like I tell everybody this who asks me questions about the language of women, when they say, like, anything about this, I always tell them this. I say, hey, when I made this, I didn't even expect this, like, to help guys at this level. I knew that this system and what I was doing, I saw how good this stuff was helping me in my dating life, and I wanted to share it with other guys, and I did. And even to this day, even I can't believe how many guys just keep having success with this. Like, it's truly amazing. It really is amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I built it. Like, I'm actually saying that because if you just go check out the page that I made, you're going to see all this for yourself. All you have to do is scroll down, and as you scroll down, you're just going to see all of the different student successes. You're going to see so many student successes, and at any point that you're wondering or want to see more, you just keep scrolling down. You're going to keep seeing them. In order for me to build that, it took 10 years of experience in my own dating life, and to actually build out that process for you guys, when I wanted to actually share that, it took months to build. It took months to put all that together. I consider it my life's work, because if you look at the amount of years it took me to discover all this, and then the amount of months that it took me to actually put all of this together for you, this has been so many hours of effort that I just want you to at least see what I built. I just want you to at least go and look. Just go and see the results that the other guys are getting. It is truly amazing. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.